Chapter 673. No one at the scene would have expected Fury, who was scolding Alex and pressuring Lord Adair to give him an explanation earlier, to suddenly change so quickly. Even Edward himself was stunned at this time. He blurted out subconsciously as he asked, "Dad, why are you being so polite towards a casual and useless son-in-law such as him? Don't forget that he called our family garbage when we were outside just now." At this time, Fury blurted out, "Bastard. You'd better shut up now." There were so many things that Fury could not say in front of everyone here. However, he was already roaring in his heart. "You bastard. What would you know?" Edward was still young and his body was at its peak as he was still in his 20s. That was the reason why he could sing songs every night, party and drink, go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning, or even stay up all night. However, he could not do that anymore. Edward's current physical state was typical of a well-fed man who would never understand how a hungry man would ever feel when he was starving. His son could eat expensive fish and meat every day. So, how could he possibly understand how a person who has not eaten for 3 days would bend his waist over just for a mouthful of rice? That was because he has never experienced hunger in his entire life. He would never understand the feeling of hunger that would make a person so flustered, as well as experience hair loss, weak limbs, and uneven breathing. He would never understand why a person who was starving would kneel down just for a bun. For someone like Fury, although he had not reached a very old age yet, he knew that his body was already in a much worse state compared to his younger days. He had money, status, and strength, but he did not have his youth anymore. Therefore, when Fury saw the sudden change in Lord Adair's physical body, he really longed for the same thing deep down in his heart. He would be willing to pay $500 million to buy a magic medicine like this. In fact, he would even be willing to pay $5 billion for a pill like that. The expression on Edward's face turned very ugly after getting scolded by his father. However, he did not dare to talk back to his father because he understood his father's temper very well. If he continued talking back to him, Edward knew that his father would probably beat him up in public. As Edward was feeling very down and prepared to retreat, Fury noticed that Alex was not responding to his offer at all. Therefore, he hurriedly yelled at Edward, who was about to retreat, as he said, "You asshole. Come over here and apologize to Master Anderson now." Edward had a very aggrieved expression on his face as he subconsciously said, "Dad, are you actually asking me to apologize to him?" Fury replied coldly, "Yes. I want you to come over here and apologize to Master Anderson right now. Otherwise, I won't let you off." Edward never would have dreamt that his father would actually reprimand and scold him under the gaze and watchful eyes of so many people. He really felt like dying. This was especially so because Faria was also staring at him with ridicule in her eyes. This made Edward feel as though he was suffocating at this time. He could not stop himself from blurting out, "Dad, even if you kill me, I'll never apologize to this kind of useless and pathetic jerk." After that, Edward turned around and walked away immediately. Fury was very angry and furious when he witnessed this situation. He knew that his son's biggest shortcoming was that he never knew how he should be acting and behaving in every situation. Even if they were billionaires, there were also times when they would have to lower themselves and bow before other people. At a time like this, even if they had to kneel down, they should be kneeling down willingly. The rejuvenating pill was indeed a very magical medicine. It would be fine if he had never seen this medicine before. However, now that he had witnessed it for himself, he did not want to miss out on it. Fury knew that it would be the biggest regret of his lifetime if he missed out on this opportunity. How much was his son's dignity worth in the face of this kind of opportunity? Just as Fury was about to stop his son from leaving, Alex, who had been silent this entire time, simply smiled slightly as he said, "Mr. Whale, since Edward is unhappy, there's no point in making things difficult for him. As the saying goes, nothing forcibly done can ever be agreeable. Similarly, a forced apology wouldn't be acceptable too. After that, Alex turned his attention away from Fury before he focused his attention on Lord Adair instead. Lord Adair, the rejuvenating pill can at least extend your life for another 10 or more years. I believe that you can easily live up to 100 years old. I hope that you won't forget to invite me to your 100th birthday banquet when the time comes. When Lord Adair heard Alex's words, his eyes were filled with tears as he was extremely excited. At this time, he quickly knelt to the ground with a thud as he said piously, "I thank you for your kindness, Master Anderson. I will never forget your kindness and graciousness towards an old man like me." Alex smiled faintly before he nodded and said, "Don't just thank me. You should also be thanking your good and filial granddaughter, Faria. If it weren't because of her, I wouldn't have gotten to know you or the Adair family at all, let alone give you this precious and valuable rejuvenating pill. Therefore, you shouldn't forget what she has done for you, and you must remember to treat her right in the future." Faria could not help but trembled a little when she heard Alex's words. She knew that Alex was giving her a big gift at this time. It was a very big gift that could even ensure that she would be able to inherit the Adair family from her grandfather.